I just arrested my husband. The same man who's been sleeping in my bed for the last 10 years, except he doesn't know it's me. And I don't know if he's faking or if he really forgot the wife he left behind. 2 hours ago, I walked into a warehouse with my gun out and my badge ready, about to catch the criminal I've been hunting for months. And when I saw his face, I actually dropped my flashlight because it was James. My own James. The husband who disappeared 10 years ago after kissing me goodbye and never came home. And now he's standing here in a suit that costs more than my car with blood on his hands and a different name. And when I yelled, "FBI, you're under arrest," he looked at me like I was nobody. Not like he was pretending. Like he really had no idea who I was. So either my husband lost his memory and doesn't remember our wedding, our home, the nights I cried waiting for him to come back, or he's been alive this whole time, knew exactly where I was, and chose not to come home. And I can't figure out which one hurts more. Here's the part that's going to make your brain explode. The criminal I've been chasing isn't some random drug dealer. He's Kael Volkov. The Kael Volkov. The Russian mob boss who owns half the East Coast. The man wanted for murder in 6 different states. The ghost that even other criminals won't say his name out loud. And 10 years ago? He was James Mitchell, my husband. The guy who fixed cars and made me pancakes every Sunday and promised we'd grow old together. So what the hell happened? Before I tell you what happens next, and trust me, this story gets absolutely insane, you need to subscribe right now because I'm about to tell you what he whispered in my ear when I put those handcuffs on him, and it's going to destroy everything you think you know. Click subscribe. I'm not joking, because in 30 seconds I'm going to say something that's going to make you scream. Do it right now. I'll wait. Okay. You subscribed? Perfect. Drop a comment and tell me where you're listening from. I need to know who's here with me. Because here's what he said. I clicked the handcuffs around his wrists. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. My partner was standing right next to me. The whole FBI team was watching. And Kael, or James, or whoever the hell he is, he leaned in so close I could feel his breath on my neck, and he whispered 4 words that made my whole body go cold. Reina, play along. Please. He knows who I am. He's known this entire time. And whatever game he's playing, whatever reason he had for leaving and becoming a killer and letting me believe he was dead, he needs me to pretend I don't recognize him. So now I'm standing here holding the biggest arrest of my entire career, staring at a man who's either my husband or a complete stranger who just happens to have his face, and I have maybe 5 seconds to decide, do I tell my team the truth and blow up everything? Or do I keep my mouth shut and find out what's been going on for the last 10 years? Let me take you back to the beginning. 3 months ago, the day my boss walked into my office and dropped a file on my desk that changed my entire life. His name is Director Chen, and he never smiles. When he walked in that morning, I knew something big was about to happen because he was holding a red folder, and red folders only mean one thing at the FBI. Someone important is about to go down. He threw the folder on my desk and said, "Reina Santos, meet your new case." I opened it. The first thing I saw was a picture of a man in a dark suit getting out of a black car. Tall, dark hair, strong jaw. The photo was taken from far away, but even through the blur I felt something weird in my stomach, like I'd seen him before but couldn't remember where. Kael Volkov, Chen said. 35 years old. Russian mob. Started showing up on our radar about 8 years ago. Since then, he's been connected to 15 murders, 3 kidnappings, and more drug money than we can count. But we've never been able to touch him because he's a ghost. No fingerprints in our system, no DNA, no records before 8 years ago. It's like he just appeared out of nowhere. I stared at the photo. That weird feeling in my stomach got stronger. Why me? I asked. Because you're the best tracker we have, Chen said. And because this case is about to blow wide open, we have an informant, someone on the inside. They're going to give us Volkov's location in the next few weeks, and when they do, I need you ready to move. I took the file home that night. I spread every photo and document across my kitchen table. I stared at that blurry picture of Kael Volkov for 2 hours, trying to figure out why he looked so familiar. And then I saw it. In one of the photos, he was walking down a street, and the camera caught his left hand. And on his ring finger, there was a thin white line, the kind of line you get when you wear a ring for years and then take it off. just like the line James had. My hands started shaking. I grabbed another photo. This one showed Volkov from the side, and I could see a small scar above his right eyebrow. James had that exact same scar. He got it when he was 12, fell off his bike, needed 6 stitches. I told myself I was being crazy. Told myself I was seeing things that weren't there because I never got over losing James. Told myself that lots of people have scars and tan lines. But that night I couldn't sleep. I kept getting up and looking at those photos. And the more I looked, the more I saw James in that face. The next morning, I did something I probably shouldn't have done. I took one of the clearer photos of Volkov and I ran it through our facial recognition software. Not the official FBI system, the private one I'm not supposed to use without permission. I entered James Mitchell's driver's license photo from 10 years ago. The computer took 30 seconds to analyze both faces. When the results came up, I almost threw up. 92% match. 92%. The room started spinning. I sat down hard in my chair, because either the FBI's facial recognition software was broken, or the man I'd been hunting for the last 3 months was my dead husband. I didn't tell anyone. How could I? Hey boss, I think the Russian mob boss we're chasing might be my husband who disappeared 10 years ago. Sounds absolutely insane. So I kept my mouth shut and I dug deeper. I started going through every piece of information we had on Kael Volkov. Every sighting, every witness report, every transaction we'd traced back to him. And I started building a timeline. 8 years ago, first sighting of Kael Volkov in New York. He bought a nightclub with cash. $2 million. No bank loans, no paper trail. That was 2 years after James disappeared. 7 years ago, Volkov took over 3 more businesses. Started moving serious money. Started building his empire. 6 years ago, first murder connected to him. A rival drug dealer found dead in his car. Shot twice in the head. I stared at that report for an hour. Because James Mitchell couldn't hurt a fly. He literally caught spiders in cups and put them outside instead of killing them. The idea of him shooting someone in the head was impossible, but the evidence kept piling up. 5 years ago, Volkov eliminated an entire gang that tried to move in on his territory. 7 bodies, all killed in one night. 4 years ago, he expanded into Boston, then Philadelphia, then Baltimore. 3 years ago, the FBI officially started hunting him. And through all of this, through all these years of blood and money and power, I kept finding little things that reminded me of James. A witness said Volkov always drank his coffee black with 2 sugars. That's how James drank his coffee. Another witness said he never wore cologne. James hated cologne. Security footage showed him always walking on the left side of the sidewalk. James always walked on the left because he was left-handed and wanted his strong hand free. I was either losing my mind or I was onto something huge. 2 months into the investigation, our informant made contact. They told us Volkov was planning a major deal, a shipment of something big coming in from overseas. They didn't know what yet, but they knew where the meeting would happen, an abandoned warehouse on the west side. Chen put together a team. Me, my partner Marcus, and 8 other agents. We had one job: catch Volkov and bring him in alive. The night of the raid, I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about what I would do if I was right. If it really was James, what would I say? What would I do? Marcus noticed I was off. He asked if I was okay. I lied and said I was fine. We got to the warehouse at midnight. The building was dark except for a light on the 2nd floor. Our informant said Volkov would be there with 3 of his men. Chen gave the signal. We moved in. I went up the stairs with Marcus right behind me. My gun was out. My heart was pounding so hard I thought everyone could hear it. We reached the 2nd floor. I could hear voices inside. Russian. I don't speak Russian, but I recognized the rhythm of it. Chen counted down on his radio. 3, 2, 1. We kicked the door open. FBI, hands up. There were 4 men inside. 3 of them went for their guns. My team took them down fast, not lethal, just enough to stop them. But the 4th man didn't move. He was standing by the window in a dark suit, his back to us. He turned around slowly, and I saw his face. Time stopped. It was James. Older, harder. His hair was shorter. He had a small beard, but it was him. Those eyes, that face, the scar above his eyebrow. My flashlight fell out of my hand and hit the floor. Marcus was yelling something. The other agents were securing the 3 men on the ground, but all I could do was stare. James looked at me, looked right into my eyes, and there was nothing there. No recognition, no surprise, nothing. "Kael Volkov," I said, and my voice sounded far away. "You're under arrest." He didn't move, just kept staring at me like I was a stranger. Marcus came up beside me. "Santos, you good?" I nodded. I wasn't good, but I nodded anyway. I walked forward, pulled out my handcuffs. James Kael, whoever he was, he held out his hands without being asked. I put the cuffs on him. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped them, and that's when he leaned in close. So close that only I could hear. "Reina, play along, please." Those 4 words, in James's voice. Using my name. He knows. He's known this whole time. I stepped back fast, looked at his face. He was staring straight ahead now, expression blank, like he hadn't said anything at all. Marcus grabbed his arm, started reading him his rights. The other agents were putting the 3 men in custody, and I just stood there, trying to breathe. We brought all 4 men into FBI headquarters, put them in separate rooms. Volkov, I couldn't think of him as James, yet went into interrogation room 3. Chen pulled me aside. "Good work tonight, Santos. We've been after this guy for 3 years. You just made the arrest of your career." I nodded. Couldn't speak. "You want first crack at him?" Chen asked. Every part of me screamed no, but I heard myself say yes. Chen smiled. "He's all yours. Break him." I walked to interrogation room 3, stood outside the door for 5 minutes trying to get my head straight. Then I went in. He was sitting at the table, hands cuffed in front of him. He looked up when I walked in and his face showed nothing. I sat down across from him, put my folder on the table, turned on the recorder. "This is Special Agent Reina Santos interviewing Kael Volkov." "Mr. Volkov, do you understand your rights?" "Yes," he said. His voice was different, deeper, harder, but it was still James's voice. "Do you know why you're here?" "Because you arrested me." "Do you know what you're being charged with?" He smiled, actually smiled. "I'm sure you have a whole list." I opened the folder. Inside was a photo, our wedding photo. I'd brought it from home. I slid it across the table. He looked down at it. His expression didn't change. "Do you recognize this?" I asked. He studied the photo for a long moment. "Should I?" "That's you," I said. 10 years ago. Your name was James Mitchell. You were married to me, and then you disappeared." He looked up from the photo, looked right at me, and I swear to God I saw something flash in his eyes, but it was gone in a second. "I think you have me confused with someone else," he said. 92% facial recognition match, I said. "Same height, same build, same scar above your right eyebrow, same ring tan line on your left hand." He leaned back in his chair. "Facial recognition isn't perfect. Lots of people have scars, and I don't wear rings." "James Mitchell disappeared 10 years ago," I said. "Kael Volkov appeared 8 years ago. What happened in those 2 years?" "I don't know who James Mitchell is," he said. "Then why did you tell me to play along?" His eyes narrowed, just for a second. Then the blank look came back. "I don't know what you're talking about." I stood up, leaned over the table, got right in his face. "I spent 10 years thinking you were dead," I said quietly. 10 years crying over you. 10 years wondering what I did wrong. And now you're sitting here pretending you don't know me? Something changed in his expression. Something small. A crack in the mask. "Agent Santos," he said slowly, "I think you need to step away from this case." "Why?" "Because you're emotional. You're not thinking clearly. And that's dangerous." "Answer my question," I said. "Are you James Mitchell?" He stared at me for a long moment. Then he said something that made my blood freeze. "James Mitchell is dead. Not, I'm not James Mitchell. Not, you have the wrong person. James Mitchell is dead." Like he was talking about someone else. Before I could respond, the door opened. Chen walked in with another agent. Santos, step outside. I didn't move. That's an order, Chen said. I looked at James one more time. He was staring at the table now, face blank again. I walked out. Chen followed me into the hallway and closed the door. What the hell was that? He asked. What do you mean? I was watching from the observation room. That wasn't an interrogation. That was personal. My heart started pounding. I don't know what you're talking about. You showed him a wedding photo, Santos. Want to tell me why? I'd forgotten about the cameras. About the fact that Chen could see and hear everything. I was trapped. He looks like someone I used to know, I said. Who? I took a breath. This was it. The moment where I either told the truth or lied to my boss. I chose the truth. My husband, James Mitchell. He disappeared 10 years ago. Chen's face went hard. And you didn't think to mention this before we arrested him? I wasn't sure. I thought I was seeing things. Are you sure now? I thought about those 4 words. Play along. Please. I don't know, I said. Chen ran his hand over his face. This is bad, Santos. This is really bad. If it comes out that the lead agent on this case has a personal connection to the suspect, every arrest we make could be thrown out. I know. You're off the case. Effective immediately. What? Go home. Take a few days. Get your head straight. We'll talk about your future here after we figure out what the hell is going on. Chen, please. That's an order. I wanted to argue. Wanted to fight. But he was right. I was compromised. There was no way around it. I went to my desk, grabbed my stuff, and I left. But I didn't go home. I went to the place where James and I used to live. The apartment we shared before he disappeared. It's been empty for years. I couldn't bring myself to sell it or rent it out. I unlocked the door and walked inside. Everything was exactly how we left it. The furniture covered in sheets. Pictures still on the walls. I sat on the couch, and I cried for the first time in years. Because even if that man was James, he wasn't my James anymore. My James was kind and gentle and good. He fixed cars and made breakfast and told terrible jokes. The man in that interrogation room was cold and dangerous and covered in blood. How does someone change that much? I spent the night in that apartment, fell asleep on the couch, and when I woke up the next morning, there was someone sitting in the chair across from me. It was him, James, Kael, whoever he was. I sat up fast, reaching for my gun, but he held up his hands. I'm not here to hurt you, he said. How did you get out? I have people. You escaped FBI custody? I needed to talk to you. Alone. I grabbed my phone. He moved fast across the room and took it from my hand before I could dial. 5 minutes, he said. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes and then I'll turn myself back in. Why should I believe you? Because if I wanted to run, I'd be in another country by now. He had a point. I sat back down. He sat in the chair. We stared at each other. Are you James Mitchell? I asked. I was, he said quietly. A long time ago. My chest hurt. What does that mean? It means James Mitchell died 10 years ago. And Kael Volkov was born. Stop talking in riddles. Tell me what happened. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he started talking. 10 years ago, the day I disappeared, I left our apartment to go to work. But I never made it to the garage. 3 men grabbed me off the street, threw me in a van, drove me to a warehouse. I felt sick. They worked for a man named Kael Volkov, Russian mob. He needed someone to do a job. Someone clean. No criminal record. No ties to anything illegal. He chose me. What job? Didn't matter. I said no. So he showed me a video. James stopped. His hands were shaking. It was you, he said. Coming out of our apartment. He had cameras on you. Men following you. And he said if I didn't do what he wanted, they would kill you. Make it look like an accident. And I would watch. The room spun. So I did the job, James said. And then another one. And another one. Every time I tried to refuse, he showed me new footage of you. At work? At the store? At your sister's house. He said as long as I worked for him, you were safe. But if I ever tried to leave, if I ever tried to contact you, you would die. Why didn't you go to the police? Victor owned half the police. I couldn't trust anyone. The FBI would have taken weeks to build a case, maybe months. And in that time, you would have been dead. I couldn't breathe. For 2 years, I did whatever Victor wanted, James said. And I hated every second of it. But you were alive. That was all that mattered. What changed? His face went dark. Victor died. Heart attack. Sudden. No warning. And his whole organization started falling apart. Everyone fighting over who would take control. It was chaos. And I realized I could either run or I could take over. So you took over. I took over. Because if someone else did, they might find out about you. Might use you to control me the same way Victor did. But if I was in charge, I could protect you myself. By becoming a monster? He flinched. By doing what I had to do. You've killed people, James. 15 murders. That's what the file says. 15 people who were trying to kill me or take what I built. 15 people who would have hurt innocent people if I hadn't stopped them. You're a criminal. I know. You run drugs. You run guns. Yes. And you did all of this to protect me? Yes. I stood up, started pacing. You let me think you were dead for 10 years. Do you know what that did to me? Do you know how many nights I cried myself to sleep? How many times I thought about killing myself because I couldn't handle the pain? His face cracked. Actual emotion broke through. I'm sorry. Sorry? That's all you have to say? What else can I say, Reina? I made a choice. You or my soul. And I chose you. Every time. I would do it again. I wanted to hit him. Wanted to scream. But part of me understood. A horrible, twisted part of me understood. Why now? I asked. Why tell me all of this now? His face went serious. Because Victor had a son. Alexei. He's been in Russia for the last 10 years. And 3 months ago he came back. He wants what he thinks is his. And he knows about you. My blood went cold. What? He found Victor's old files. Saw the videos. The photos. He knows you're my weakness. And he's going to use you to get to me. I can protect myself. Not from this. Alexei is worse than his father ever was. He's smart and he's patient and he won't stop until either I'm dead or you are. So what do you want me to do? He looked at me with those eyes I used to know. I want you to trust me. One more time. I know I don't deserve it. I know I've put you through hell. But I need you to trust me long enough for me to end this. End it how? By giving the FBI everything they need to take down Alexei and his whole network. Names. Locations. Bank accounts. Everything. I stared at him. You're going to turn informant? I'm going to fix the mess I made. And then I'm going to disappear. For real this time. Somewhere Alexei can't find me. Somewhere you'll be safe. And what about us? The question hung in the air. James looked at me like his heart was breaking. There was no us anymore, Reina. James Mitchell died 10 years ago. You need to let him go. What if I don't want to? Then you're going to get hurt. And I can't watch that happen. He stood up, pulled out his phone, made a call. I'm ready, he said to whoever answered. 2 minutes later, there was a knock on the door. I opened it. Marcus was standing there with 3 other agents. Told you I'd turn myself back in, James said. Marcus looked confused. Santos, what's going on? Take him, I said. He's all yours. They put cuffs on James. Started walking him out. He stopped in the doorway. Looked back at me. I loved you, he said quietly. That was never a lie. Then they took him away. I stood in that empty apartment for a long time after they left. The next morning, Chen called me into his office. Volkov wants to make a deal, he said. Full cooperation in exchange for witness protection. What kind of cooperation? Everything. He says he can give us the entire Volkov organization. But he has one condition. What? He wants you as his handler. Says he won't talk to anyone else. Of course he did. Chen, I can't. I know. But this is the biggest case we've had in years. If he really can give us what he says, we're talking about taking down a major criminal network. Saving lives. And he won't do it unless you're involved. I closed my eyes. What if he's playing us? Then we'll know soon enough. But my gut says he's telling the truth. Why? Because I saw the way he looked at you in that interrogation room. That's not the look of a man who's faking. So I said yes. For the next 3 weeks, I met with James every day. He told me everything. Named names, drew maps, gave us bank account numbers, and warehouse locations and shipping schedules. Every piece of information checked out. But the whole time, we never talked about us. Never mentioned what he told me in the apartment. It was all business. Until the last day. We just finished going over the final details. The FBI had everything they needed. The raids were scheduled for the next morning. That's it, I said. We're done. James nodded. What happens to me now? Witness protection. New name. New life. Somewhere far away from here. And you? I go back to my regular job. Forget this ever happened. He looked at me. Really looked at me. I don't think you can forget this, Reina. Watch me. I meant what I said. I loved you. Past tense. No. Present tense. I still do. I never stopped. My chest felt tight. Don't do this. I'm about to disappear forever. Let me at least tell you the truth first. The truth? You want to talk about truth? I stood up. The truth is you destroyed my life. The truth is you became the exact kind of person we both used to hate. The truth is, even if I wanted to forgive you, I don't know how. I know. So why are you doing this? Why are you telling me you still love me when you know nothing can come of it? He stood up too, took a step closer. Because I need you to know that every terrible thing I did, every life I took, every law I broke, it was all for you. And I would do it all again. That's my truth. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. I have to go, I said. I walked to the door. Opened it. Reina. I stopped but didn't turn around. Be happy, he said. That's all I want. Just be happy. I left without answering. The raids happened the next morning. Simultaneous hits on 15 locations. The FBI arrested 47 people, seized millions in drugs and weapons and cash. It was the biggest bust in the history of the New York office. Chen called it a career-making case. I called it the worst 3 weeks of my life. James went into witness protection 2 days later. I didn't see him before he left. Couldn't bring myself to say goodbye. That was 6 months ago. 6 months of trying to move on, trying to forget, trying to be the person I was before all of this happened. It's not working, because here's what I didn't tell you. Here's the part that keeps me up at night. 3 days ago, I got a package at my apartment. No return address. No note. Inside was a burner phone. And when I turned it on, there was one message. Alexei knows where I am. He's coming. I'm sorry. It was from James. I tried to call back, but the number was disconnected. I tried to contact the Witness Protection Office, but they said they couldn't confirm or deny anything. I tried to let it go. Tried to convince myself it wasn't my problem anymore. But I can't. Because the same day I got that message, 3 bodies were found in a warehouse in Brooklyn. All shot execution style. All connected to the old Volkov organization. Alexei is cleaning house. And James is on his list. So now I'm sitting here trying to decide what to do. Do I tell Chen? Do I try to find James myself? Do I walk away and let whatever happens happen? Part of me says to walk away. James made his choices. He can live with the results. But there's another part, the part that still remembers what it felt like to wake up next to him, to hear him laugh, to feel safe in his arms. That part says I have to try. I keep thinking about what he said. I would do it all again. He destroyed his whole life to keep me safe. Can I really walk away when he needs help? I pulled out the wedding photo I showed him in the interrogation. The one where we're both smiling like we can't believe how lucky we are. We were so young, so stupid, so in love. That version of us is gone. Dead. Never coming back. But maybe something new could grow in its place. Or maybe I'm just fooling myself. I don't know anymore. What I do know is this: tomorrow morning I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to find James, and I'm going to figure out once and for all if what we had is worth saving or if it's better to let it die. Chen is going to fire me when he finds out. My sister is going to think I've lost my mind, but I don't care. Because 10 years ago, James gave up everything for me. Maybe it's time I return the favor. I'll let you know how it goes. If I survive, the flight to Denver leaves in 6 hours. That's where the Witness Protection Office relocated James. Took me 3 days of digging through files I wasn't supposed to touch to find that out. I'm packing a bag when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't answer. But something tells me to pick up. Hello? Agent Santos. The voice is male. Accent? Russian. My blood goes cold. Who is this? My name is Kael Volkov. I believe you know my father's organization quite well. I sit down hard on my bed. How did you get this number? He laughs. I have many resources, Agent Santos. Just like I have resources that tell me you're planning a trip to Denver tomorrow morning. Flight 247. Leaves at 6 a.m. He knows. He knows everything. What do you want? I want you to deliver a message to James Mitchell. Or Kael Volkov. Whatever he calls himself now. I don't know where he is. Please don't insult my intelligence. You found him 3 days ago. I know because I've been watching you. I look out my window. The street is empty. But somewhere out there, someone is watching. What's the message? I ask. Tell him I'm giving him one chance. He turns himself over to me by Friday, or I start killing everyone he ever cared about. Starting with you. The line goes dead. My hands are shaking so bad I drop the phone. He's going to kill me. Unless James surrenders. And if James surrenders, Alexei will kill him. Either way, someone dies. I grab my gun. Check the clip. Then I call the one person I probably shouldn't. Marcus. Santos? It's 3 a.m. I need your help. And you can't tell Chen. Silence on the other end. Then, what did you do? Nothing yet. But I'm about to do something really stupid and I need backup. Where are you? My apartment. But I'm leaving in 20 minutes. Leaving where? Denver. James is in danger. James? You mean Volkov? The guy we put in witness protection 6 months ago? Yes. Santos, if you go after him, Chen will have your badge. I know. More silence. Then Marcus sighs. I'll meet you at your place in 15 minutes. And you're buying me breakfast when this is over. Deal. He shows up in 12 minutes. I tell him everything. The phone, the message, Alexei's threat. Marcus listens without interrupting. When I'm done, he runs his hand over his face. This is insane, he says. I know. We should tell Chen. Get official backup. There's no time. If we go through official channels, it'll take days. James will be dead by then. And if we do this off the books and it goes wrong, we'll both be fired. Probably arrested. I know. He looks at me for a long moment. You really love this guy, don't you? The question catches me off guard. I don't know. Maybe. He's not the person I married anymore. But I can't just let him die. Marcus nods. Okay. Let's go save your husband. We take Marcus's car, drive through the night. The road is empty and dark, and I spend the whole time thinking about what I'm going to say when I see James. We get to Denver at 9 a.m. I have an address, a safe house on the edge of the city. Small, quiet. The kind of place you'd never notice. We park 2 blocks away. Approach on foot. The house looks normal. Lights off. No cars in the driveway. Could be a trap, Marcus says. Could be. We move to the door. I knock. No answer. I knock again. Still nothing. Marcus tries the handle. Locked. We going in? He asks. We're going in. He picks the lock. Don't ask where he learned that. We slip inside. Guns drawn. The house is silent. Empty. We clear the first floor. Nothing. Move upstairs. There's one bedroom. Door closed. I push it open. James is sitting on the bed. Gun in his hand. Pointed right at us. When he sees me, his eyes go wide. Reina, put the gun down, James. He lowers it slowly. What are you doing here? How did you find me? Alexei called me. He knows where you are. He's coming. James stands up fast. When? He didn't say. But he gave you until Friday to turn yourself in, or he starts killing people. Then you need to leave. Right now. If he knows you're here. He already knows. He's been watching me. James goes pale. No. No. This is exactly what I was trying to prevent. Well, it's too late now. So what's the plan? The plan is you get as far away from me as possible. Not happening. Reina. I didn't fly across the country just to turn around and leave. Alexei threatened to kill me. The only way I'm safe is if we stop him first. Marcus clears his throat. Hate to interrupt, but she's right. Running won't fix this. We need to end it. James looks at Marcus, then at me. You brought backup? This is my partner, Marcus. Marcus. This is James. They stare at each other for a second. Then Marcus extends his hand. Heard a lot about you. James shakes it. I'm sure you have. So what's the play? Marcus asks. James sits back down on the bed. Thinks for a moment. Alexei wants me to surrender, he says. So that's what I'll do. That's suicide, I say. Not if we do it right. Alexei wants a public surrender. Wants to make an example of me. Show everyone what happens when you betray the Volkov family. So we give him what he wants. But we set the terms. What terms? We pick the location. We control the environment. And we bring every advantage we can. You're talking about a trap, Marcus says. I'm talking about ending this once and for all. We spend the next 4 hours planning. James knows how Alexei thinks. Knows his weaknesses. His patterns. We pick an abandoned factory on the outskirts of Denver. Big, open, multiple exits, easy to defend. James calls Alexei. Tells him he'll surrender tomorrow night. Midnight. The factory. Alexei agrees. Too easily. He's planning something, James says after he hangs up. Of course he is, I say. So are we. That night, we scout the factory. Set up positions. Figure out sight lines and escape routes. Marcus brings in 2 agents he trusts. People who won't ask questions. People who owe him favors. We have 5 people total against however many Alexei brings. Not great odds. But it's what we have. The next day drags by. We go over the plan 100 times. Check our weapons. Wait. At 11 p.m., we move into position. I'm on the 2nd floor with a sniper rifle. Marcus is on the ground floor with the 2 other agents. James is in the center of the factory floor. Alone. Unarmed. The bait. 11:30. Nothing. 11:45. Still nothing. 11:59. Headlights appear in the distance. 3 cars. Black SUVs. They pull up to the factory. Doors open. Alexei steps out. He's younger than I expected. Maybe 30. Tall. Blonde hair. Expensive suit. 8 men step out with him. All armed. Bad odds just got worse. Alexei walks into the factory. His men spread out around him. He sees James standing in the center. Smiles. James Mitchell, he says. His accent is thick. Or should I call you Kael Volkov? You've worn so many names, I forget which one is real. Alexei, James says. You got what you wanted. I'm here. Let's finish this. Oh, we will finish it. But first, I want you to know something. I want you to know that your sacrifice means nothing. Because after I kill you, I'm going to kill everyone you ever cared about. Your friends, your family, and especially that FBI agent who thinks she's so clever. My finger tightens on the trigger. She's not part of this, James says. She became part of this the moment she helped you betray my father's legacy. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? That I wouldn't know she's here right now watching us? Alexei looks up. Looks right at my position. He knows. Come down, Agent Santos, he calls out, or I shoot James right now. I don't move. Alexei pulls out a gun, points it at James's head. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, wait. I stand up. Show myself. Alexei smiles. There you are. Come down. Slowly. I walk down the stairs. Hands up. Gun left behind. When I reach the floor, one of Alexei's men grabs me, pushes me next to James. Much better, Alexei says. Now we're all together. One big happy family before the end. You got us, James says. Let everyone else go. Everyone else? You mean your FBI friends hiding in the shadows? You think I didn't notice them? He snaps his fingers. His men move fast. Gunfire erupts. I hear Marcus shout. Hear the other agents returning fire. Alexei grabs me, puts his gun to my head. Tell them to stop, he says to James. Or she dies right now. James's face goes white. Stop! Everyone stop! The gunfire stops. Marcus and the other agents step out. Hands up. Surrounded. We lost. Alexei laughs. You thought you could trap me? I've been doing this since before you were born, James. You're good, but you're not that good. Let them go, James says. This is between us. No, this is about legacy, about respect. My father built an empire and you stole it. So now I'm going to take everything from you the same way you took everything from him. He moves the gun from my head to James's. Starting with your life, time slows down. I see Alexei's fingers start to squeeze the trigger. I see James close his eyes. And I do the only thing I can think of. I throw myself at Alexei, knock his arm up just as the gun goes off. The bullet goes wide, hits the ceiling. Everything happens at once. Marcus and the agents open fire. Alexei's men return fire. James tackles Alexei to the ground. I roll away, grab a gun from one of the fallen men, start shooting. The factory erupts into chaos. Bullets everywhere. People screaming. Smoke filling the air. I see one of Alexei's men go down. Then another. Marcus takes a bullet in the shoulder, but keeps fighting. James and Alexei are on the ground, throwing punches. Alexei is bigger, but James is faster. I run toward them. One of Alexei's men blocks my path. We fight. He's stronger, but I'm meaner. I get his gun. Shoot him in the leg. Keep moving. James has Alexei pinned now, hitting him over and over, years of rage coming out. James, stop! I yell. He doesn't hear me. Doesn't stop. I grab his arm. James, stop! He's done! James looks at me. His eyes are wild, unfocused. Then he sees me. Really sees me. He stops. Alexei is unconscious, bleeding, but alive. Around us, the shooting has stopped. Alexei's men are either dead or surrendered. Marcus walks over, holding his shoulder. Everyone good? Define good, I say. The police arrive 10 minutes later. Then the FBI. Then Chen. Chen looks at me. At Marcus? At James? At the bodies? Someone want to explain what the hell happened here? I take a breath. It's a long story. Turns out, going rogue and having a shootout in an abandoned factory is frowned upon by the FBI. Chen suspends me and Marcus on the spot. Says there'll be a full investigation. But Alexei is in custody. His whole network is falling apart. And the FBI has enough evidence to put him away for life. So maybe it was worth it. James goes back into witness protection. For real this time. New location. New name. Maximum security. I don't see him before he leaves. Chen won't let me. But 3 days later, I get a letter. No return address. Just a note inside. Thank you for saving my life. Again, I know we can't be together. I know too much has happened. But I need you to know something. Every version of me, James, Kael, whoever I become next, they all love you. They always will. Be happy, Reina. You deserve it. Jay. I read that letter about 100 times. Then I put it in a box with our wedding photo and all the other pieces of our old life. And I try to move on. The investigation takes 3 months. In the end, Chen decides not to fire me or Marcus. Says what we did was reckless and stupid, but it got results. I get a formal reprimand. Marcus gets the same. We both go back to work. Life goes on. 6 months later, I'm working a new case. Nothing exciting. Basic fraud investigation. I'm at my desk when my phone buzzes. Unknown number. Text message. Turn on the news. Channel 7. I grab the remote. Turn on the TV in the break room. There's a breaking news story. A major arrest in Moscow. The rest of the Volkov crime family taken down in a massive raid. The reporter says the raid was possible because of information provided by an anonymous source. I know who that source was. James finished what he started. My phone buzzes again. It's done. I'm free. Finally free. If you ever want to talk, you know how to find me. Jay. I stare at that message for a long time. Part of me wants to delete it. Move on. Let the past stay in the past. But there's another part, a bigger part that remembers what it felt like to love him, to be loved by him. Even with everything that happened, even with all the pain, some things are worth fighting for. I save the number. I don't text back. Not yet. But maybe someday. 1 year later, I'm in a coffee shop in Seattle. I transferred here 6 months ago. Needed a fresh start. New city. New life. I'm reading a case file when someone sits down across from me. I look up. It's James. But different. Shorter hair, no beard, glasses. He looks younger, lighter. Like he's been carrying a weight and finally put it down. "Hi," he says. I say. We sit there for a moment, just looking at each other. "You found me," I say. "You made yourself easy to find." "Did he?" He smiles. "You used your real name when you transferred. Same job, same life. If you really wanted to hide from me, you would have done better." He's right. "So why are you here?" I ask. "Because a very smart FBI agent once told me that some things are worth fighting for, and I think we might be one of those things." My heart is pounding. "James, we can't just pick up where we left off. Too much has happened." "I know. I'm not asking to pick up where we left off. I'm asking if we can start over. Clean slate, new people. No more lies, no more secrets. Just us. Who even are we anymore?" He takes off his glasses. Looks at me with those eyes I've known for 15 years. "I don't know," he says. "But I'd like to find out. If you're willing." I think about everything we've been through. The pain, the lies, the betrayal. But I also think about the love, the sacrifice, the fact that he destroyed his whole life to keep me safe. And I think about that letter. "Every version of me loves you. They always will." I take a breath. "I'm not promising anything," I say. "No guarantees. We take it slow. We figure out who we are now. And if it doesn't work, we walk away clean. Deal? And you have to tell me everything. No more secrets, ever. Everything. I promise." I look at him for a long moment. Then I smile. "Okay. Let's start over. Hi, I'm Reina Santos." He smiles back, extends his hand. "Marcus Chen, nice to meet you." We shake hands. And for the first time in 10 years, it feels like maybe, just maybe, we're going to be okay. 2 years later, we're sitting on a beach. Somewhere warm, somewhere quiet, somewhere no one knows our names or our history. James Marcus now, though I still call him James when we're alone, is reading a book. I'm watching the waves. We got married last month. Small ceremony. Just us and 2 witnesses. No drama, no danger, just 2 people who found their way back to each other. It wasn't easy. Those first few months were hard. Learning to trust again. Learning to be honest. Learning to be the people we are now instead of the people we used to be. But we did it. He quit the life. For real this time. No more crime. No more danger. He works as a mechanic again. Goes by his new name. Lives a quiet life. I'm still FBI. Still chasing bad guys. Still trying to make the world a little bit safer. We're different people than we were 15 years ago. But we're better people. And we're together. "Hey," James says, looking up from his book. "Yeah? You happy?" I think about the question. Think about everything we've been through to get here. "Yeah," I say. "I'm happy." He smiles. Goes back to his book. I go back to watching the waves. And for the first time in a very long time, I believe in second chances. Because if we can survive everything we've been through, the lies, the danger, the years apart, and still find our way back to each other, then anything is possible. Sometimes the person you love becomes someone you don't recognize. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, they find their way back. Not to who they were, but to who they're meant to be. And that's worth everything. The end.